And now, please welcome to the stage Grant Callen, founder and CEO of Empower Mississippi.
Welcome. We are so delighted you're here in a new, larger facility. This is the fourth annual Empower Solution Summit, and we've got a great day in store. We're so glad you're here. There's a couple of housekeeping things I want to mention. This is a social media friendly event. So if you take pictures, if you'll use the hashtag that you see on the screen, 2024 Solution Summit, and we will have a drawing right around lunch for some of the people, for a door prize for people who have used that hashtag to post their pictures. We're not going to have a scheduled break until 11:30 when we break for lunch. So if you need water or coffee, they're in the back. If you need to get up and use the restroom, just do it right in the middle of the program. Now, before we jump into our first panel, I want to kind of frame our conversation a little bit for kind of what we have in store and really what I think this moment in Mississippi is all about. Today is Mississippi's birthday. Did you know that? 207 years ago, Mississippi became the 20th state in the Union. And you will not find a more proud Mississippian than I am. 24 years after statehood, my great-great-great-grandfather, Cornelius Freeman, purchased 40 acres in Perry County from the federal government as a land grant. And his paperwork was signed by Martin Van Buren, the president at the time. So my family has deep roots here, and I love this state. And there's a few things that I love about this state. When I think about what I love our land. I mean, we don't have the Rocky Mountains. We don't have the Utah Arches. But this is a beautiful state, from the coast to the Tennessee line. And for my money, sitting in a deer stand in Carroll County, watching the sun set over the hardwoods is about as close to heaven on earth as you can get. I love this land. But I also love our people. And when I think about our people, we are some of the kindest, most generous, most hospitable people on the planet. We are home to amazing inventions, pine saw, and Viking range. And another thing you may not know, the first heart transplant in the world happened just up the street at UMMC in 1964. So don't sleep on our brilliant medical minds either. And the cultural artifacts that came out of this state are incredible. Literature, music. I saw the governor tweet out a couple of days ago, Mississippi is going to have a float in the Rose Bowl parade that's going to feature Elvis Presley and B.B. King. We have some amazing people that come from Mississippi. But I also love our values. While the rest of the country, or certainly parts of the country, have just gone crazy, Mississippi is a place where we still value hard work. We value faith, family, freedom. We salute the flag. We honor soldiers. We honor first responders. We believe in hard work and calloused hands and dirt under your fingernails. This is a place where real values are still alive. But not everything is perfect. You know, 11 years ago, a group of us started Empower Mississippi. And the purpose of this organization was both to celebrate our progress, but to really focus on those challenges that seem to persist, those things that just continue to hold us back. And I'm really proud of what we've done and all of the people across the state who have helped us do it. But man, we are just getting started. And I think part of our role at Empower is to help our lawmakers and our statewide elected officials and people across the state keep our eyes on the horizon. We can never rest on our laurels. We should always be pushing to make our state even better because there's so much work to do. And one of the indicators, when I think about our state, one of the indicators that is a reminder to me our work is not done is our population growth statistics. You know, when you give free people choices, they vote with their feet to find what they need. So if you're trying to figure out the best restaurant in town, call around on a Saturday night and see who has the longest wait for a table. There's a good bet there's going to have the best food in town because they have more people wanting to come to that food. The guy who cuts my hair in Madison, I think he's the best barber in town, not just because I like the work he does, but you can't just walk in. You got to get an appointment a week or two in advance because he has a long wait list to get in front of him. People vote with their feet. If you ever doubt that America is still the greatest nation on earth, just look at our immigration statistics. People are walking sometimes hundreds of miles. They're swimming through shark-infested waters. They're putting their family on small boats and rafts, all to come to the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it's an indication to me that we are still a shining city on a hill because people are coming from across the globe to America. But in large part, they're not coming to Mississippi. When you look at our statistics, the South is booming. People are fleeing New York and California and Illinois and other states, and they're coming to the South, except Mississippi. Mississippi is one of only 2 states in the South that is losing population. So I think there is still work to do, but that's part of what we want to talk about today. So why is Mississippi not growing? I think part of it is perceptions, and I think part of it is policy. Let's talk about each of those real quick. Perceptions. There's been a perception of Mississippi for a long time that Mississippi was backwoods, barefoot, ignorant, and racist. If you've lived here, you've heard all of those stereotypes. And I'm here to tell you a lot of that reputation is simply false and unwarranted. But we also have a history that speaks to some of what people think about us today, the perceptions that people have today. And I am so proud that perceptions of Mississippi are changing. If you think about Katrina changed what the world thought about Mississippi because we got knocked down and people got to work. We picked ourselves up. As Haley likes to say, we hitched up our boots and we helped our neighbor, and that helped change the perception of what the world thinks of Mississippi. We changed our flag a couple of years ago. We adopted a beautiful banner that I'm so proud of, that we can all unite behind, and that is changing what the world thinks of Mississippi. We have begun to address our literacy challenges, and the world is taking notice. Look, we got a long way to go, but we have started to innovate in the way we teach our kids to read, and it's changing the way the world thinks about Mississippi. We have people contacting us to say, I want to implement in my state the Literacy-Based Promotion Act that Mississippi passed in 2013. And states are looking to Mississippi to pass this in their state. The world is thinking differently about Mississippi. But there's also some policies that continue to hold us back. For a long time, Mississippi has not always prioritized work through our economic and tax policy. We have made poverty survivable, but not escapable. So people can make ends meet and make a living dependent on the government. It's not a great life, but you can make ends meet. But it's really hard to ever climb that ladder and climb out of that and build a life of earned success where you provide for yourself and your family. We've made that real hard. We have at times limited a great education to what I call the 3 L's. If you want to get a great education in Mississippi for a number of years, you had to be lucky. You were just born into a community with great public schools. You had to be loaded. You could afford to move to a community with better public schools or pay for private school tuition, or you're willing to lie. And increasingly, there's a lot of people in our state who are falsifying where they live. They're telling the school district they live in a different district, all in an effort to get their kids into a better school. We've got to give parents more choices. And increasingly, one of the other policies I think about is our prison system has at times been overly harsh and punitive. We've not been very good at helping people rebuild their life. So oftentimes people have come out of prison worse than when they went in. And they slip back into old habits, and they have lapses, and they go back into prison. But I am deeply encouraged that on all of these fronts, Mississippi is moving in the right direction. And what I want, and what this day really is about, is those ideas that will help create an opportunity-rich state for your kids and my kids so that they stay here, so that people from across the country see there's opportunity here, and this becomes a place where people want to come and live and put down roots and invest their dollars, and we make this place even better for the next generation than it was for my generation and my parents' generation. That's what the conversation's about today. Let's get started.